Hello and welcome to Showcasing Your Value. How to showcase your value without feeling like you are bragging. Now, this is a topic that comes up so much in my coaching of clients. It comes up in the Q&As after my talks, something that all my lawyer clients really struggle with. And I feel it's time we tackled and really nail down what's going on in your brains, what's going on in your minds that's stopping you from showcasing your value. So what we want, if you are a lawyer, if you are anyone in any industry, you're ambitious, you want to grow your career, you want the pay rise, you want the promotion. What you want and you know you need is to be known. It's to be valued, to be appreciated, and to be recognized. If no one knows who you are, you're not going to get the support, the votes, the people championing you and believing in what you can do and opening doors for you. If you are not valued, people aren't going to see any reason why they should promote you or pay you more. And if you're not appreciated, you're not going to get that sense of, feel like you're valued and appreciated. But mostly that appreciation is not going to show, is it, in the form of the promotion or the pay rise or the praise that you get. And lastly, if you're not recognized, like if no one actually can see how much work and effort you put into your career, how hard you work for your employer or for your firm, if nobody really recognizes quite how much you give, then it can feel like it's all wasted effort. Not a very nice experience for you, makes for a very unhappy employee. So this is experience of so many of you out there. You feel actually overlooked some of the time. You feel that you may be invisible, that you're forgettable. And the reason for that has nothing to do with how talented and brilliant you are. It's nothing to do with your experience, your commitment, how willing you are to work hard. And it's everything to do with the fact that simply no one knows who you are. No one really knows what you do. Maybe somebody who works very closely with you all the time, they might know. But looking at the firm as a whole, looking at the group as a whole, looking maybe at the whole organization, not enough people know who you are, know what you do. Likewise, there may be people who kind of know who you are and know what you do, but are there people who know how well you do it? And if there aren't, then this is going to increase the likelihood of you being largely invisible and forgettable. Likewise, are there people around you who don't actually know what it is you want, what you want in your career? In so many situations, I've seen it. I've worked with clients who are ambitious. They want to be made up, promoted to counsel if they work in a law firm, then partner potentially. But no one actually knows that that's what they want. And I even had a client today who was saying how it's frustrating to her to have people question the fact that she wants to be a partner and to express surprise and say, oh, I didn't know that was what you wanted. I had another client a few months back who felt very despondent because her colleague had been promoted to counsel within her law firm. And she hadn't even been involved in the discussions, hadn't even been asked whether it was something that she wanted. People had just assumed that she didn't want it. So when no one knows who you are, no one knows what you do or how well you do it, and no one knows what you want, or not enough people know all of those things, then the chances are you're going to be overlooked. You might be invisible, you're going to be forgettable. And most frustrating of all, you're going to end up in that situation where there's somebody perhaps less qualified than you, maybe somebody who's less skilled, less experienced than you, ends up being promoted ahead of you. Just want you to think about your own position right now. Who knows you? Who knows what you do? Who knows how well you do it? And who knows what you want? Are you just another faceless person in your organization, working away, a cog in the wheel, just churning, churning, churning? and not getting the value and the recognition that you deserve. You'll know if that's you, if you feel you're being overlooked, if you notice other people around you who are being promoted, getting more of the attention. They're the ones that are getting the opportunities. If this is your experience, if you're effectively invisible, then you know it's because you're not, your value is not known, and it's your job, your responsibility to showcase it. And that's what this is all about. Now, I know the resistance that will be coming to your mind when I talk about showcasing your value, which is, I really mean talking yourself up, letting everybody know how great you are, what you do. So much resistance comes up for a lot of you. I don't want to be that person. That's the kind of thing my clients say to me. They have such a fear that if they go around talking up their achievements or talking about their successes or their skills, their experience, it's going to sound like they're bragging. It's going to come across as boasting. People might think that they're arrogant, and like that will come across as so unappealing, unattractive. Now, I've actually done a previous podcast episode on this very topic because it comes up so much with my clients. The fear of being that person, the one in your organization that you see as epitomizing everything that you are not, but which underneath it all, if you peel back the things about that person that you find unpleasant, you will find actually some helpful indicators of the kinds of things you need to be doing more of, even though, of course, you're going to want to do it in your own way, so you're not doing it the same as them. So if you haven't already, do go and check out episode 73 called Being That Person. If you're someone who is being held back by this thought that if you talk about your value and what you do and let everybody know you're here, or you do lots of publicity around your building your brand and making yourself visible, if you're worried about being that person that's holding you back, listen to that episode of the podcast. Another thing that's stopping so many of you from really being more visible, showcasing your value, is, of course, imposter syndrome. Now, I work with lawyers who have imposter syndrome or experience imposter syndrome from time to time, and I know this comes up for so many of you time and time again. How on earth can you showcase your value when you feel like a fraud, when you feel like your success is down to luck? How can you showcase how well you do what you do and talk about it openly and publicize it in places where people are going to like really see and get to know you? How can you do that when the whole underlying anxiety that sort of underpins imposter syndrome is this fear of exposure, fear of being found out, fear of other people realizing that you don't deserve to be there? At least that's how it sounds and feels in your head. How on earth can you possibly build your profile and be more visible when actually everything about you, your imposter syndrome, makes you want to play small, to not be exposed, to not put your head above the parapet and go, look at me, this is me, and this is what I do. You want to do the opposite, don't you, with imposter syndrome? So it's being really aware of those barriers. There's two I've focused on: the fear of coming across in a certain way that you see as negative, and of course, your fear that comes from imposter syndrome and being exposed. So how does that play out? What happens when you're being held back by these fears? This is what you do. You put your head down. I see you hiding behind your work. If anything, you work to overcompensate for the fact that you're not feeling able to or not wanting to be more visible. It's head down syndrome. And I don't know how many times I've worked with clients who are doing this, working so hard, feeling very deserving of recognition and being valued, but actually not doing anything actively to make sure that that happens. What you're actually doing is you're waiting for somebody to come along and notice how hard you're working, notice the contribution you're giving, And that would be all very well, except you have no control over that. Except that so many other people, most of us, right, have so much going on in our own lives, and that includes your boss. It would be wonderful, isn't it? Wouldn't it, if the powers that be could spend enough time looking over those numbers, the number of hours you're billing, for example, and be able to deduce from that that you are deserving of a promotion. But no, that's not how it works. How it works, critical to your recognition, being valued, is your ability to showcase your value, is your ability to actually help others to see how great you are, who you are, how well you do what you do, and not, it's actually quite selfish in a way. Maybe I could put it like this. It's actually quite selfish to expect other people to come and witness and observe that in you and do the work of like recognizing your value. Actually, it's your job, your responsibility to showcase that value for all to see. So hopefully I've convinced you of the importance and the necessity of showcasing your value so that you don't get left behind, so that you're not invisible and forgettable, and so that you get more of the recognition and the being valued, right, that you deserve. So here's what I want to offer to you as a solution then. I want to offer to you that showcasing your value it's got nothing to do with bragging. It's not about boasting, it's about service. So showcasing your value is not about bragging, it's about service. Here's what I mean by that. The idea that you're bragging is all caught up in the notion that showcasing your value is all about you. It's all about you, just talking about you and for the sake of saying how great you are. No, that's not what showcasing your value is. Showcasing your value is actually about being in service to the people you work with, the people you work for, those you interact with. Yeah. If you're able to showcase to them what your value is, you are helping them to find the best ways to work with you and to interact with you and make the most of you. Yeah, it's in service to what you would like to deliver to the other person, to your clients, to your employer, what you want to bring to the firm or the company you work for. You need to be able to highlight, to showcase what all of those things are in order to help them to see you. So that's what I want to offer, that showcasing your value isn't a selfish act like bragging. It's not a self-absorbed act like boasting. It is a selfless act, which is all about being in service, right? Being in service to your clients or to your boss or to your colleagues, to those who work and interact with you. What do you think about that as an idea? That it's actually selfless. I'm turning it on its head for you so that you can see it completely differently. And if you can approach any situation in which you're stepping into showcasing your value in the spirit of service, so you're not making it about you, you're making it about the information you're sharing with the other person, with other people, with those who don't know you, how different that will feel for you. Like it will feel much more authentic. It will feel like you're in integrity with who you are, but also how impactful and helpful that is for the other person. So I want to share with you my 3 tips for how to think about showcasing your value and how to direct the ways in which you can do that. The first one is positioning. The second is packaging. And the third is publicizing. 3 P's, super easy to remember. Let's talk through those one by one. Positioning. Now, what I had in mind for this, I was actually thinking about the football, and at the time of recording this, we've had the Euro 2020 finals here in the UK at Wembley a few nights ago. Actually, it's now 2021, which is the time when these finals took place. And I wanted to do a football analogy because I thought it was really powerful. I'm slightly resistant to doing it because there's been this horrible aftermath of the match, which has been really unpleasant. But for the purposes of this session, I'm going to leave that to the side and not let that cloud my brain. And I'm thinking about Well, any sport really, where you've got a team sport and there's, say, one member of the team has got the ball and they're running or they're dribbling with it or they're bouncing it if it's basketball or whatever. And then there's somebody who's in a brilliant position. They're in an ideal position to score a goal for the team or to score a net or a basket, right? And that person is like signaling or calling out to the person who has the ball, right? Or calling out to the other teammates. They're saying, I'm here, over here, right? Lovely form of positioning. I'm in a great position to take this forward, to help, to improve the situation, maybe to win the game, right? I'm in this great position because of where I am, right? Because of who I am. Likewise, if it's you're looking at a map, if you're trying to, I mean, I have this thing with my husband quite a lot where I am not fantastic with directions. He gets very, very frustrated with me. So what he does is he drops a pin and he's like, just follow the pin. He drops it in the map on his phone so I can pick that up and somehow find him if I'm needing to meet up with him. But it's great. So what he's doing is he's signaling to me where he is, and so that I can find him. And that's how I want you to think about showcasing your value. You're just signaling to everybody out there where you are, letting them know you're in a certain position that's going to create a great advantage. It means you'll be able to contribute to a shared goal. So those people out there who don't know about you, don't know who you are, what you do, how well you do it, it's really important that you showcase your value in order to show them you're in a position to help. The second piece of advice I want to share with you about how you showcase your value is to think about packaging. I love packaging. I think it's really, really important. And actually, if I buy a product, however luxurious or extravagant or wonderful the product is, if it hasn't got lovely packaging around it, I am seriously disappointed. Likewise, when it comes to Christmas or a birthday, my husband's always saying, oh, you don't need to wrap presents. It's fine. We're past that now. Our youngest son is 10. We've got an 11-year-old, 16-year-old, 18-year-old. And then he'll also say, for my presents, I don't need them wrapped. I'm like, no way. We always wrap presents in our house. I insist on it. And that's because the whole experience of unwrapping a gift, unwrapping a present, the joy of that present happens long before I've actually seen what's in it, right? So packaging is wonderful. It adds a different experience to, it kind of levels up the whole experience for you. It adds a different dimension, level of enjoyment to the whole experience of the gift. So what I want to offer or suggest to you is that you showcasing your value is a way of adding a whole other experience of you to the client or to potential clients who don't know you're there yet, right? What you're doing is you're not just relying on the fact that your firm or your organization has a big brand and does its own publicity and attracts its clients. What you're doing is saying, not only are you coming to work with, you want to consider working with this firm, but actually in doing so, you're going to have the experience of working with me. So working with my firm, if you're a lawyer, or working with my organization, if you're not, is you will get a certain thing, right? Caught up in the brand of your employer. The person who wants to work with you will know what that brand stands for. But you need to showcase to those who don't know you yet that actually working with you within that organization is going to add that extra dimension. It's going to be a whole added experience for them that is something that's going to add value and be be more unique and special for them in the same way that packaging and wrapping is. So I have those two companies that I'm loving at the moment with their packaging and how it makes me feel. The first one is Beauty Pie. If you are a cosmetics fan, then Beauty Pie is the one. It's doing very well, I think. Certainly lots of my friends use Beauty Pie. So check it out if you haven't. But what you do is you get, when you make an order of beauty products online with them, you get this lovely, beautiful pink box that arrives. And all the products within inside it have beautiful, they're packaged in beautiful kind of clean white boxes. It's beautifully branded. And then it's all wonderfully wrapped in this pink branded tissue paper. I love receiving that in the post. The experience of opening it long before I've seen what's inside it and actually use the products, that experience has completely enhanced my sense of enjoyment. And that's what I want to offer to you, that showcasing your value is. It's going out into the world. It's telling your colleagues, it's telling your boss, it's telling people who've never worked with you before, people who don't know about you. It's telling them of your existence and showing them that by engaging with you, it's not that your skill is a skill that no one else on the planet has. If you're a lawyer, there are lots of other lawyers on the planet. The point is, you add the experience. You are the packaging that they are going to get that product through. So they'll get the lawyer, but they're going to get this amazing, beautiful packaging. And I don't know about you, but that counts for me. That counts for a lot. I love that I don't have to think about which products, which cosmetics companies to go to, for example, because I've had such a wonderful experience of like Beauty Pie and Amara, like the home furnishing store, online store is another one of them. They've got amazing packaging, lovely attention to detail. I love the fact that I don't have to rethink my decision to work with them because I've had such a good experience from them. It's not that I could only buy the products I buy from Amara from them. There are products that are available elsewhere, but the experience they give me, which they showcase, and they showcase really well, that keeps me coming back again and again and again. So I hope that's making sense, coming through clearly. You are the packaging, right? So you showcasing your value is about letting people know that working with you, they're going to get a particular experience, and that's going to enhance their sense of enjoyment and the value they feel that they're getting. Don't deprive your clients and your colleagues and the people who don't know you of the opportunity to have that experience of you. Yeah, service, remember, service to those around you. And then finally, publicising, a bit of a clumsy word, but I didn't want to say publish because it's slightly misleading. Publicising is what the third thing I want you to keep in mind and make sure you are doing in when you're showcasing your value. Or better still, keep in mind that your goal is to publicize. When you're feeling nervous and unsure about showcasing your value, remind yourself that actually it's about being in service to your clients. And one of the ways you do that is to publicize. Now I've got here, while I'm actually doing a video of this, which will go on YouTube. So if you're listening on the podcast, you can also watch this on YouTube and subscribe to my channel if you'd like to. Now, what I've got on the screen is an image of the Apple, their signature store in Bangkok. There's a big apple, and we all know what that symbol stands for. And I was thinking about how, and it often, I'd be like, oh no, not another Apple phone. They're constantly upgrading. They're constantly looking for ways to improve, create a better product. And they're bringing out these increasingly like more and more versions of the iPhone or the iPad. And each one just gets better and better and better with time because of their experience, because of their knowledge. Now, imagine if Apple did all of that and then never told anybody about it. Imagine if you could only find out about the latest iPhone 12, I think is the latest one, by actually going into the store and happening to see it sitting on the desk there. Imagine if there was no publicity at all, if there were no ads on the tube, or if there were no ads on your phone or on social media announcing the fact that there's a new iPhone out. Don't you think that would be really annoying and frustrating? Don't you think you'd find it almost selfish of Apple to keep that news to themselves? But no, they don't do that, do they? They put it everywhere. They showcase their value by saying, look, we've gone even further. If you thought what we did before was good, look at what we do now. Here's our latest upgrade. Here's what we can do more of. Here's how we can serve you better. And they splash that across the world, across social, across tube station platforms, on billboards. They want to give everybody the opportunity to experience their amazing product. And that's how I want you to think about showcasing your value. You're getting more and more experienced every single day. You're growing as a lawyer or as whatever your role is every day, getting more and more valuable. But how can anybody possibly know that about you unless you're willing to showcase it, to talk about it? In fact, to do otherwise, to keep that information to yourself, I'm going to suggest to you, is actually quite selfish. You're making it really difficult for people to come and find you, to have the opportunity to work with you, to send opportunities your way, which they would be delighted to do if only they knew your capability, if only they knew how much more experienced you are today than you were yesterday, or the new project you've just completed, the new skills you've just acquired. Tell the world needs to hear this about you. It needs to see you in action and hear from you. And to do anything less, to play small, to put your head down and just focus on the work is to do them a disservice. So I hope you found that intriguing, interesting, and challenging to your perception of what it actually means to showcase your value. I hope you will recognize, I'm just going to remove one of the windows here that's appeared in my video. I want you to hope you're going to think about where you want to be. Come back to that every time. You want to be valued and appreciated and recognized for all the hard work, the contribution you are making. And it's really important that in order to do that, we let go of this idea that showcasing your value, talking about what you do, the way you do it, how well you do it, your new skills, your new experience. You have to let go of this idea that all of that would be bragging. And I want you to embrace this notion I've introduced to you, that actually showcasing your value is all about service. That is selfless. That's what it's all about. So if you'd like to take this work further, and I hope you would, then there are so many ways in which you can interact, engage with me further. First of all, please subscribe to the podcast, subscribe to the YouTube channel where I deliver all of this great content, great value for you for free every single week. Share. If you think this will be useful to one of your colleagues, one of your friends, please share the love. I'd be so happy. And then most importantly, sign up to the newsletter. Go to carolineflanagan.com. You'll see a box there where you can sign up to my newsletter and you'll get all this content. You won't need to search around for it in different places on social media. You'll get it straight into your inbox every single week. If you're a lawyer, finally, and you do want to start putting this work into practice, my Imposter program for lawyers with imposter syndrome is an absolute game changer. I coached 4 clients today who were all on this program, and I am honestly blown away with the results, how quickly they are creating results in their work and in their lives generally, because, well, that's what coaching is. It is life-changing. It is transformational. If this is something that's of interest to you, then please sign up for a consultation with me. It's totally free, no obligation at all. And we'll have a chat about how coaching could help you tease out that imposter syndrome, find the value in your imposter syndrome, make it your strength so that you can go on and start creating the incredible results in your life and in your career that I know you're capable of. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for watching. I look forward to seeing you next week. Have a beautiful day, evening, or afternoon.